Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tarkir Dragonstorm draft here on the channel. The Arena Open is this coming weekend, so I'm in full tryhard mode practicing for the event and climbing towards Mythic at the same time. Once I get to Mythic, maybe I'll even do some best of 3 drafts to prepare. But anyway, here is our first pack. Frostcliff Siege is a card I have first picked before as an experiment, but I don't think it's strong enough to justify first picking, so I am going to pass this time. It is a solid card, but not quite good enough to first pick in most packs, I think, just because it's a little bit just hard to cast on turn 3 in decks that would care about some of the modes, and like you need to just have the right situation lineup for the flyers to punch through and draw cards. So you guess you can draw cards with non-flyers, but for the Jeskai mode, and then the Teamer mode works well if you have lots of big creatures. Venerated Stormsinger is a solid card. I don't think it's worth first picking just because it's kind of narrow in the decks it goes in and kind of makes your draft a little bit trickier. There's Runescale Stormbrood, which is again kind of a solid card, but nothing crazy. Honestly, this whole pack is a bit underwhelming. I might just take a Dragonstorm Globe. I think Stormsinger might be better, but Globe is an essential card for some of the best decks in the format. Dragonclaw Strike is also fine, but overall pretty weak pack. I think the Stormsinger is maybe the best card in the pack, but I don't like taking it first in packs. Now there is Neriv, Heart of the Storm. Not a card I love splashing in my Mardu, in my red-white decks. If you're playing Mardu, you can play this, and it's good with mobilized cards, but it's kind of hard to use sometimes, other than just being a giant flyer. There is Frontline Rush, which I think is the best card in the pack and worth taking here. It's just such a good piece in the red-white aggro decks. And then there's Duty Beyond Death, which is also good in the red-white aggro decks. Bearer of Glory sometimes wheels and is solid in those decks. And then Thornwood Falls to go with my Dragonstorm Globe. It's pretty much, I don't think Neriv is a very good, I would rather have Frontline Rush than Neriv, even if I was able to splash. And oftentimes this card's just the best card in your deck. So we will second pick it. Early on in drafts, I like taking cards that can be the best card in your deck. And Rally the Monastery isn't quite there, but Frontline Rush can be the best card in your deck. If you don't have any crazy rares, Rally the Monastery is phenomenal. +2/+2 to 2 different creatures oftentimes just dominates the game. Making a couple of monks can be really good. Killing creatures for cheap can be really good. Sunset Strike Master is also good. And Mammoth Bellow is good, but I think this card is enough more powerful that it's worth taking. And even if we don't go into the decks that it's good in, we can still just use Rally the Monastery as a splash in a Dragonstorm Globe deck, though it is looking like the deck we want to be in, or at least to go with the Frontline Rush is open. I think Salt Road Pack Beast is better than Sun Pearl Kirin. This card is good, don't get me wrong, but Salt Road Pack Beast is like the card you want, and you'll play as many copies as you can get in these decks, and then justify it by building around it, by putting in multiple creatures like Frontline Rush, and Rally the Monastery can make multiple bodies and stuff like that. And Underfoot Underdogs doesn't always wheel, but it's a card you can use. Okay. Now we're going to take Jeskai Monument. We could build a more mid-rangey version of this deck. Jeskai Monument does go well with Frontline Rush to some degree because it makes multiple bodies. Rally the Monastery can go well in Jeskai. Salt Road Pack Beast isn't the best Jeskai card, but it is a card that can still fit into those Jeskai decks. What was this card? I took over the 2/1. Yeah, the 2/1 is a good card as well, but I think Salt Road Pack Beast is better. And Jeskai Monument, if we're splashing blue a little bit, can definitely be a good card for these decks. There's also Caustic Exhale, which is a fantastic card, but I think Monument is better for what we're doing right now. And now we get a Mardu Devotee. There is Spectral Denial for blue, but even if I was playing Jeskai, this card's totally solid to help me get my red fixing for white mana. It helps me get Salt Road Pack Beast down earlier. It helps me with just having cheap creatures in play. Frontline Rush cares about those sorts of things. So I love getting a Mardu Devotee pick 6. Now there's a Shock Brigade. This card, getting this 7th is a really good sign for me. And I think our deck is looking pretty open right now, so I'm pretty happy about that. Late. Like, none of these other cards are like later than I would expect to see them. Channel Dragonfire or Duty Beyond Death or Coordinated Maneuver. Honestly, a really interesting pick. I think it's between Duty Beyond Death and Coordinated Maneuver. And I am going to take the Duty Beyond Death. Plays well with the Shock Brigade, Mobilize. Coordinated Maneuver is really good. But I think this card can just absolutely take over a game by itself. Okay, I think Devoted Duelist. I don't really want Osseous Exhale in this deck. Stormshriek Feral, maybe I'll play 1 copy, but I don't even really care that much. And Duelist is totally fine. Another Duty Beyond Death. A second copy isn't the greatest, I think. Maybe I wasn't expecting to wheel it, really, so. Now there's Seize Opportunity, totally solid card. Let's just start shaving cards. We aren't going to be playing Dragonstorm Globe in this deck. The Jeskai Monument is more speculative. Duty Beyond Death. This was a close pick. Now I am going to take Underfoot Underdogs. I already have a couple of Duty Beyond Deaths, so being able to go wide is going to be rewarded. And I think the Underfoot Underdogs plays well with the Pack Beast. Lancer could even be played as well, just because getting the buff onto the flyer is nice, and also you just want more mobilized cards when you have Duty Beyond Death. This is a fantastic card. I would definitely enjoy playing it if I was heavier black to be able to use the Exude Toxin mode, but I'm not. There is Twin Maw Stormbrood, which is just a fantastic card for me. There is Purging Stormbrood, which is another good card for me. And then there's Jeskai Shrinekeeper, which I would splash in this deck, thanks to the Monument. I think it would probably be worth it to splash. But we're just going to take the Stormbrood because it's powerful and we don't need to do any extra work to make it good. What was I taking? Oh, it was this or +3+... No, it was this or +3/+0 and draw a card. This card was... I don't even remember what I took this over now, the first copy. Oh, it was over Channel Dragonfire, I think. That was a tough pick. It was Channel Dragonfire and something else. Oh, and Coordinated Maneuver. We'll snap up our first Coordinated Maneuver here over Jeskai Devotee, I think. Jeskai Devotee wheels sometimes. So does Coordinated Maneuver, to be fair. Maybe we would rather have the Devotee. I'm getting a little bit high on non-creatures, though. A lot of these make creatures. And in terms of splashing blue, I could still find a blue card I want to splash. I'm going to probably use this to make creatures a lot of the time, so I do have like 9 creatures. I'm going to just use Coordinated Maneuver. I think the cheap removal is just what I'm looking for. And now Shock Brigade is the best card for me. I like Fleeting Effigy a little bit. Wayspeaker Bodyguard's fine. I'm just taking the creature. I don't mind Monastery Messenger as just a beatdown threat. This card's going to wheel anyway. I don't love Starry-Eyed Skyrider. I think Coordinated Maneuver is going to pay off as a pick. Put this in the speculative camp for now. Riling Dawnbreaker or third Duty Beyond Death. I think I am going to take the third Duty Beyond Death and then just really build around it and just play like a bunch of cards that I wouldn't otherwise play, like Dragonback Lancers and stuff like that. Because I think it is really powerful. Coordinated Maneuver is another really good one. Putting a counter on your whole team is just so powerful. So we're taking every card that puts multiple bodies with one card. Probably going to play this to make 2 1/1s a lot more often than we normally would. Pack Beast, I love it. Have to take that over the Underfoot Underdogs, though I would play almost any number of Underfoot Underdogs in this deck. I don't even have to play all 3 Duty Beyond Deaths. It's just, it could be one of the best cards in my deck. I'll take Rescue Leopard now. I don't love Narset's Rebuke in this build. I also don't love Rescue Leopard in this build, but like Tranquil Cove just in case we want to splash. We're not a Wild Ride deck. I think Wild Ride's like more for like an evasive focus deck. We're going to cut the Jeskai splash right now. Jeskai Devotee did wheel, just as I was hoping. So these are the... Definitely playing these so far. My deck is looking pretty good. We're kind of putting our more speculative cards over there. Probably gonna... We might not play all 3 Duty Beyond Death. Seize Opportunity is definitely a card we could consider cutting since we have 3 Duty Beyond Death, which we're really trying to use. The Jeskai Monument is tempting. Maybe we'll keep that in the speculative pile for now. Just so we remember we have it. We got a couple blood flies without even trying. Okay, so this pack has War Effort, which I think is going to be the pick here. Another card that plays incredibly well with the Duty Beyond Death. Hopefully we can wheel Dragonback Lancer. I would probably, if I've got a second Jeskai Monument, I would probably play it. I think I might wheel the Jeskai Devotee. This is a good pickup for us, though. Now we have to take Frontline Rush. It's just so good. Making the 2 1/1s is great. The pump is really good. We're really trying to go wide in this build. We've got a couple of Mobilize cards to play. We have currently got 3 Mobilize cards to play with our Duty Beyond Death and now a War Effort. So the tokens really go valuable. Boltcaster good, but Devotee probably won't wheel, but nice little pickup, a second Frontline Rush. Okay, now I'm going to take Sun Pearl Kieran, I think, or Sunset Strike Master. I think Kieran is better in general, especially because flying is really good when you're putting counters on your guys. And it's also another card that plays well with our token kind of theme, so I'm going to take the Kieran. Wow, All-Out Assault. I don't think I have the mana to play All-Out Assault, which is kind of crazy to say. I have 1 Mardu Devotee. Especially because I could take an Unsparing Boltcaster, which would also be really good for my deck. I have 4 picks to get the mana to support this. I'm actually going to gamble, because if I can play it, it'll be like the best card in my deck. Okay. This is the tricky situation you put yourself in, though. Is now, like, do I take Scoured Barrens? Or do I just take, like, Channel Dragonfire, knowing it'll be a good card for me? Oh, man, this is tricky. I'm just going to assume that I'm not going to get there on the mana. Shock Brigade, perfect. Just what I'm looking for. Another Mardu Devotee. Still going to take that over Furious Forebear. And over Bearer of Glory. What a pack. Salt Road Pack Beasts, Shock Brigade, and Dalkovan Pack Beasts, and Effigy. This is just like a dream pack. I'm going to take the Pack Beast, but that was tough. Now I take Lancer over Jeskai Devotee, I think. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A lot of 2-drops. I slightly regret this pick. Yeah, I figured I'd get this Devotee. I remember there was one in a future pack. Yeah. I don't really regret taking this. The 3-mana 3/3 would have been solid in my deck. The Unsparing Boltcaster. If I had taken the tap land and had the Mardu Devotee, I could put like... Ooh, this card's actually solid. I could put like Swamp. Okay. So we're going to cut the All-Out Assault. We're going to cut the blue card. Not playing that. Definitely lean towards Plains because of the Martyr Devotees. I don't think I need Rescue Leopard as much. And I don't have any way of getting rid of extra lands. My colors are actually pretty good because of all these Devotees helping my fixing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I'm going to cut 1 Jeskai Devotee. Actually, I'm going to cut Devoted Duelist. I think Devotee's better. This card's quite good. Dragonstorm Globe. Yeah, I'm not going to try to force it in. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Seize opportunity can go. I'm just going to really try to go in on Duty Beyond Death. Going to cut a land. Got a very low curve. Play that. Cut this. Cut 1 Duty Beyond Death. Cut the Lancer. I think I got there with the Mobilize. I have 3 Mobilize cards to go with my 2 Duty Beyond Deaths. My creature count is at 15, but these are also creatures. This can be a creature. I'm going to cut 1 of my 2-drops. Now I still have a lot of 2-drops. I still have 6 normal 2-drops and then these 2, which can be 2-drops. So that's like 8. And then I think having 1 more 4-drop will be beneficial for the Duty Beyond Death. And yeah, that will be the build. I will see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos, if they've been helping you win more, have more fun playing, any of the above, or just entertaining in themselves, then you can support the channel and help me make more content in the future, as well as gain access to some cool bonus content like my Format Thoughts document and my card-by-card tier list. I want to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a huge difference. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to another round. I guess round 1, we're going to mulligan because we don't have both colors. We can keep this, though, and we are going to get rid of the coordinated maneuver. This into this, and then draw a card off of it. Yeah, coordinated maneuver would be good, though. I just prefer having my threats. Sure. Play the Shock Brigade. Sure. I'm going to play the Practitioner, and the next turn I can go Shock Brigade, Channel Dragonfire. Do not want that because I want to draw a land. They have nothing to do on their turn 3. So maybe they're missing a color. Yep. That lines up. Sure. Play this. I will play Shock Brigade. Combat. Kieran. Definitely keep that on top. Bounce the token, draw a card, kill their guy. Then next turn I can attack and use Duty Beyond Death if I want, or I can just play War Effort and kill them. Depends on what they do. Okay, so I think they're just dead here. Mostly. Okay, so if I play this, all my creatures get huge, and they just die. This has got to be enough. At least enough to be worth doing. Because they take 6, 10, 12, 17. Yeah, they're totally dead. They could have chump blocked, but... Wait, no. 6, 10, 15. My bad. They go to 1. Yeah, I mean, how are they surviving? I can just eventually flash this back to kill them. Nice little win there. I do think that I want... I really like my go wide payoff. The Dragonback Lancer is the diciest card in my build. From a pure power level perspective, I have 15 creatures, 17 creatures. Those make 2 bodies each. This can also make bodies, so that's like 18 creatures. Duty Beyond Death is a card that really wants to sacrifice a mobilized token, and I have these 3 plus this one. So that's like 4 sources of a free thing to sacrifice or a good thing to sacrifice. So maybe I just play the 4th Duty Beyond Death and cut a Jeskai Devotee. Keep the Dragonback Lancer, I think. 7. I don't really want to bounce. I really want to use this thing a little bit later. Dragonback Lancer is definitely the worst card in my deck, so I'm just going to cut that and then hope that it's better to have Duty Beyond Death, though I'm not as sure about it. We'll see, though. See you in the games. Welcome to another round. This is an easy keep. I do think that the Dragonback Lancer is a weak card, but it is a card that I'm happy to have when I have Duty Beyond Death. Definitely don't want the land. I will keep the Devotee, though, because it'll eventually be like a 2-3. 3-4, maybe even. So they're playing Shock Brigade in a Teamer deck. That is interesting. Not sure what that means. Every point of damage matters. Okay, I don't think I need 3rd Duty Beyond Death, but I do want this 4th land. Because if the first 2 Duties Beyond Death resolve with the Shock Brigade the way I want them to, I should be able to win this game. Definitely play my creature before I plan on getting my Duty Beyond Death in here. They probably have a counterspell. They do not have a counterspell. Okay. That's something I can sacrifice to future Duties Beyond Death. I could have kept the Duty Beyond Death and then sacked 2 things, but I was worried about them killing my Shock Brigade. I figured this would probably be good enough. Sure, I'm glad I didn't block. Oh, they're punching. Yep. Definitely play this first so I can buff it. Three, 6, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. I still think I want to sacrifice the warrior token because this thing being a 4 toughness blocker and the fact that I have 2 copies of coordinated maneuver to build a fresh start. Both seem like valid reasons to do it this way. I know it does leave them 2 points higher in life, which means none of these things aren't all individually lethal. Okay. But this would have worked out perfectly, because I would have coordinated maneuver. I think when you have coordinated maneuver, it kind of makes sense. If they were at 3 and this thing was dead, these 3 guys, yeah, they would have been dead on board. So maybe it would have been better. It was kind of a close call. I guess making a decision based on drawing coordinated maneuver is a bit weird. I also have 2 more Salt Road pack beasts that like having a creature in play. Yeah. That was pretty effective. Let's just double check our deck list again. We're pretty good at double spelling, so these Jeskai guys are pretty good at being like 3/3s as attackers. So these are just really good cards in my deck. I think 16 lands is fine. These guys help me scry away lands. The 3rd Duty Beyond Death. Yeah, I think we'll keep it like this for now. These things are like 4 drops. This thing's like a 2 drop. Our curve is really low. Man. Well, we'll have to keep seeing how it does. I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. This is a dicey one, but we're going to keep it. It's like the exact sort of hand that makes me glad that I have that extra Devoted Duelist in the deck. Or Jeskai Devotee is what I meant. Land is exactly the wrong draw. This is going to be a tough one to win. It's just how it goes. Yikes, we were so close. Devoted Duelist, you almost had my... I mean, Jeskai Devotee, you almost had my back. Lands are not useful to me anymore. There's a lot of cards I could have that'd be kind of GG. Them being at 20 life on turn 4 is not a good sign for me. Interesting. Just holding up planes. That's not really representing anything. Getting a blue source. Okay. Play this. Play this. Play this. I could have also, instead of killing that, I could have also just made this guy unblockable. Man, we've drawn pretty well down the stretch here. Drawing both 2 pack beasts is pretty great. Okay. 1 pack piece down. Sage of the Skies. Hate seeing that. Could be the death knell for me. That card is so hard to beat. Perfect. So then we just Deal damage to the one that has lifelink. Deal extra damage from our guy. Maybe I shouldn't have played this. What if they have something that makes me discard? But most of the discard effects in this set are discard targeted. So if I attack with everything, I can frontline rush. Oh my gosh. And it still counts this. Oh, it only counts 5 now. Boom! That's why sequencing matters. Okay, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty spectacular. Having one mobilized card makes such a difference for my deck. I'm really tempted to add another one. But my 2-mana 3/3s. My 2-mana 3/3s. I have too many options. It's so tricky to choose. I know I'm not going to add any more combat tricks because I have these 3, and they're kind of like all the combat tricks I have room for to some degree, plus this card. So that's like 4 combat tricks, 5, 6 combat tricks. So adding a weak one like Seize Opportunity isn't the best. But adding one Lancer just to give myself an extra, like, bigger thing to play is really appealing. Underdogs makes 2 bodies, so I'm not cutting that. Definitely not cutting any of these cards. Force Practitioner I think is better than the Lancer. It's really the only spot I have room for is cutting a Duty Beyond Death, which they've been so good I'm not cutting one of those, or a Jeskai Devotee. And I've been getting enough Shock Brigades and War Efforts that I think I'm just going to keep this ratio now, 4 of those and 3 of these. But I'm keeping my eye on you, Lancer. I really am tempted to try and play it. Anyway, see you next round. Welcome to another round. We're going to keep this. Sketchy hand for sure. But we have 8 planes and 2 Jeskai Devotees. So, and then we have 2-drop into 3-drop. So any land we can go 2-drop into 3-drop. And if we draw planes, it's a very, very good hand. So that's the logic there. If we miss on lands, we miss on lands. But we have a couple draws to find a planes or a Jeskai Devotee. So now is crunch time. Now is where we really want to hit that planes. Boom, or Jeskai Devotee. He will also do the trick. And now we have both things going. I think definitely Saltwood Pack Beast. I think another Martyr Devotee is probably fine. This Scry is going to be useful. Especially for helping me double spell with that guy. Gosh, my deck is a well-oiled machine. I'm going to be casting Pack Beasts for 1 mana next turn. 2 of them. Okay. Okay, I see you. I did my stuff in slightly the wrong order here. If I had kept this thing on top first, I could have cast it first. And now I'm at risk of them killing my other white source. So I should have scryed it the other way, so I could get the Devotee into play. But if they invest a removal spell on the Martyr Devotee, I can probably just finish them off anyway. Sure. Let's just do this first. Really don't need that. Looks like they're holding up some sort of counter magic. Okay, so unless they have a dragon board wipe, we're going to be able to take them down here. Like, and the dragons are rare, so playing around it is just not something I like to do. But, like, they're super dead if they don't. I figured I could use this to kill something. Okay. We'll go with this first. They have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. Sure. Gosh. Maybe I should have done it the other way so that I could deal an extra 5 damage. I'm actually super worried about them having a board wipe. I need to spend more time thinking about that for sure. Yeah, they're super dead. Yeah, like if they had a board wipe, I could have instead of killing their guy, I could have like given my guy indestructible, but against a counterspell that's worse cuz then I don't have the information in advance. Gosh, we are cruising. That Jeskai devotee off the top was chef's kiss. I did mess up slightly by not getting that Martyr devotee into play a turn earlier, but got another win. We're cruising on to the next round. See you there. Welcome to another round. This is a great hand. We do need to draw one more land, but we have 2 shock brigades and a war effort, so our duty beyond death is certainly humming along. And if we do draw a land, this Poised Practitioner is going to be good. Okay. And if I don't draw a land for a turn or two, it's still going to be fine. Despair. All is lost. Come on, land. Beautiful. I really was tempted to try and save it and just go Practitioner this turn. But then if they make this a 4-3, it's really bad for me. This thing would find a target eventually, but it's just tough to justify. This is a fine way to start things off. Kill their guy, buff up both my creatures. Getting the Poised Practitioner is not as important, I think, as making sure I keep the attacks flowing. Because now both of these guys attack harder. Yep. This is definitely the card to play this turn, because next turn I can Martyr Devotee plus a 2-drop if I draw one, or I can land War Effort and then eventually Duty Beyond Death plus Martyr Devotee. Crow-Tick? Sure. Sure. Okay. Let's see what we shall see. Land is good. Another Martyr Devotee is honestly fine. Because next turn I'm planning on going, just jamming War Effort. And then turn after that, going Martyr Devotee, Duty Beyond Death, sacrificing it seems fine. Also pumping this guy. I should have made the 2 1/1s. Would have made this guy bigger. Don't want to make trades when I have a big Duty Beyond Death turn coming up. I should have made the 2 1/1s though, that was bad. That's a crazy attack. They could have just attacked with their 4/4 that they don't have to pay mana to attack with. I should have buffed up this guy. Because if it plays around Caustic Exhale better. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have thought about it more, too. I'm trying to make sure I iron out all the kinks. I've been playing a lot better recently just because I've been playing this set a lot, so I feel real comfortable with it, but that's where you get the real nitty. You get down to the bottom of it. You're like, okay, these are things I can do better in general. And, like, that's one that I should have done better because if they have Caustic Exhale as their last card, I was thinking, okay, Dragon Spray, this, I can do the same thing where I target my guy. If they target it, I buff it. But if I target this guy and they go for Caustic Exhale, I can cast my second spell. It'll get +1/+1, survive, and then I don't lose. Nice. Got the win, though. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We've got a killer hand here. Devotee Brigade, turn 3, Salt Road Pack Beast, if everything goes according to plan. Frontline Rush. Yeah, we don't need this land. I wonder if I could have poked in with this guy if they would have stopped me. It was too risky, not risky to do that, but I wonder. I'm curious. Could have done it and then attacked with the Poised Practitioner as well, and then gone for this thing as a part of a double spell next turn. Frontline rush, kill something next turn, or make 2 1/1s. That is fine by me. That is a crazy attack. They might just be dead on board now. Well, not on board, because it's about to be based on what I do here. So, I make 2 1/1s. Make 2 more 1/1s. So I have 4 1/1s. Then I attack with everything, make another 1/1 from this. Sacrifice that 1/1. Sacrifice the Salt Road Pack Beast. So I have 5 1/1s. Oh, they're deaf. They've got to be dead. That are all going to be 2/2s. Okay. So I can play this pre-combat because it'll get the buff from Duty Beyond Death. So they will take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I would rather sacrifice this guy. Because I could have put them to 2, but I'd rather keep my 4/3 around. That was pretty clean. These guys contributed 6 damage. Ugh. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Huge win. I think we are on to the final round. We could go undefeated with this deck, which would be pretty sweet because, I don't know, the deck is awesome. Do we have any rares in this deck? I don't even know if we have a single rare in this deck. Nope, no rares. Oh my gosh, come on. Why did I check first? I should have played the last round and then checked. Now I'm too excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, undefeated with no rares. Oh my gosh. Pretty cool. Let's get this done against maybe a Boros opponent. This angel is Boros. Okay, well, we're going to keep this, but it's one of those sketchy hands that could backfire. We're going to have to draw some creatures. We just pretty much need to draw spells, but you have to keep your 4-landers a lot of the time in these decks, even if you don't really want to. So we'll need to draw another creature. Caustic Exhale. Oh, no. Oh, this could be bad. Bad news bears. Oh, no. Well, this is the worst possible start. Gosh darn it. We drew 2 spells, but we're still toasted. Sinkhole Surveyor. Oh, no. Yep. That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, we are really in bad shape. Okay, they've had literally the best possible hand they could have had. Like, if they have a single Snakeskin Veil, we are toasted. Yeah, we are conceding. Okay. Well, we aren't going to get the perfect record, but we still have a chance to get max wins, so let's do that. Welcome to a much, much better hand. This hand is incredible compared to that last one. The last one could have panned out against certain draws. Okay, we don't want either of these cards because we don't have any expendable tokens, and we really would like some. Definitely going to lead with the Devotee. We'd love to draw a card with this, but we can also bounce this and get a couple scries in, which is also reasonable. Exhale. Unfortunate. We'll keep one removal spell and get rid of the other one. I honestly kind of want to get rid of both, but we'll take the luxury of a spell here. Yep. Does shuffle my deck, so that coordinated assault is back in. That is the ticket. Best possible draw. Love me a Saltwood Pack Beast. I'm glad I have 2 more in the deck still. Honestly, not the end of the world. That card was not going to do that much for me. This is a trade I'm willing to make because the 1-2 wasn't going to do much for me, but the 4 damage means a lot. At least that's my current theory. So I thought that they might block the Saltwood Pack Beast. Like, if they were at 11 here, like, the different, like, for example, if they block the Pack Beast, they need to take that extra damage, pretty much, for me to have a shot. So my Kieran is a 5-turn clock instead of a 4-turn clock. If they don't... Okay, let's see. I was going to kill it, but they've got to have a removal spell. Like, I'm almost positive they have a kill spell for the Pack Beast. Yep. And getting a lethal threat into play for next turn seems pretty reasonable. Especially because they can't Dragon Spray it. And now they have to have not only a kill spell this turn to kill this thing, but also a kill spell for the Kieran the following turn. Boom! The trophy! No rares needed! Yes! Oh, what a win. Feel like we played pretty well that draft. We deck builded very well. The draft itself was very interesting. Deciding not to make the ambitious splash was pretty important. No rares needed. Just commons and uncommons and a focused game plan. The Duty Beyond Death was awesome. The Frontline Rush was awesome. The Devotees were awesome. Pack Beast was fantastic. And if you made it to the end of this video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag Beast to let me know you made it all the way till the end, because no rares were needed and our Pack Beasts pretty much functioned as like 1 mana 4/3s. And what a run. You could also leave hashtag no rare because no rares needed. This deck was fantastic, super fun to play, and I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you can take this into your drafts and do well with them. And that is going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will talk to you next time.